What's your favorite game? For some of you, it's probably a story game like Red Dead Redemption, Tomb Raider, or God of War. Maybe it's a sandbox like Minecraft or Terraria. Maybe a simple platformer like Mario, or a fighting game like Smash Bros. Or Brawlhalla. For me, it's this little known game called
Fortnite? 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 Fortnite.
Fortnite, it's free.
Fortnite. I have been playing this game since I was 10, and I'm still playing as an almost 17-year-old. I fell in love with its goofy style, its gimmicks, its map, its story, and just everything. It's corny to say, but this game has had a huge impact on my life. And I really wanted to make a video about reviewing every chapter, but how can I express my opinion on the game as a whole, only going over the 5 chapters? So I thought of a better idea. Enjoy.
He's under us!
Up the hill?
I'm a potato! I ain't trash!
There's a circle. Yeah.
Hey, what are they doing?
Oh my god!
Season 1. This season was the building block for what is now the largest and one of the most iconic games of all time. I like to think of this season as 2003 LeBron James, the beginning of something amazing. But what about this season was so great? Fortnite is an ever-evolving game, and over its 7-year history, it's had its good, its great, and absolutely dog shit seasons. So, in this series, I will be reviewing every Fortnite season. Except for this video, I'm combining season 0 and 1 as they're very short and basically the same season. I will be reviewing the gameplay, the map, the battle pass, the community at the time, and enjoyability of each season, as well as giving a rating of the season at the end of the video. This in turn will allow us to look at their flaws, the good things, and what Fortnite learned from them. Anyways, our first category that we're going to start with is the Season 1 map consisted of 10 locations, before 3 landmarks were turned into POIs. These 13 were Anarchy Acres, Dusty Depot, Fatal Fields, Flush Factory, Greasy Grove, Lonely Lodge, Loot Lake, Moisty Mire, Pleasant Park, Salty Springs, Retail Row, Tomato Town, and Wailing Woods. The map is pretty barren and extremely simple. There is a charm to it, however, and it's pretty iconic. Is it a good map, though? Well, once you take off the rose-tinted glasses, you see its many flaws. Is it the worst map ever? No. Is it really that good? Not really. Lots of people really love this map, and I can see why. It's nostalgic and there's a lot of memories on this map, and yes, it's charming, but there are problems. Which yes, were fixed later, but we are looking at what it was at the time, and how it compares to what we have now. For one, many of the locations were kind of glorified landmarks, which is kind of a problem for Chapter 1 in general, but mainly for this season a lot. Or they were just copies of each other, for example, Fatal Fields and Anarchy Acres. I would never call this map bad, as we have had much worse, but it's very basic, very middle of the road, very cookie cutter as some would say. So that is why I believe the perfect rating for this map is a solid 6 out of 10. When Fortnite launched, it took the gaming world by storm. The building mechanic was insane at first, and of course, no one knew how to use it, which meant everyone was at a similar footing for probably the only time in Fortnite's history. Before looking at Season 1's gameplay, let's check out Season 0. Season 0 and 1 are practically identical, but Season 0 takes place before the seasonal shop was added. Season 0 was extremely buggy and a little bit unfinished when looking back. The weapons were very clunky, fall damage in the storm were weird and didn't work how they work today, and there was not even a duos mode yet. Oh, and this really isn't a negative, but the Zappertron was added and quickly removed after 30 minutes for being overpowered at the time. I find this really funny that this is what was considered broken back then, as we've had things like Chapter 5 cars and the mechs. Anyways, the game was still fun though, with, as we stated at the beginning, the build mode really drawing people's attention towards the game. Not only that, but the amazing and cartoony graphics. While yes, needing work were just mwah, chef's kiss. Fortnite is an extremely pretty game in general, but something about the Chapter 1 graphics were something they have not been able to replicate again. Fortnite also began rolling out lots of updates, and while being slow at first, it was a step in the right direction. Season 1's gameplay was a lot better and less buggy than Season 0. The weapons, while a little clunky at times, all felt extremely fun and satisfying to use. Fortnite was also updating their game more, and every single week we got a new update, which not a lot of games were doing at the time. While a lot of them were just small, simple hotfixes, there were still some notable updates that added cool items like the launch pads, slurp juices, the 50v50 mode, and the first ever Fortnitemares. The Fortnitemares update, while definitely not holding a candle to the ones we get today, it was still a huge moment in the game's history. Pumpkin launchers were added and had a bug that allowed you to ride the rocket. But everyone loved this bug, so much to the point that Fortnite made it a permanent feature. While most of these updates again were just really small hotfixes, it was a sign of what was to come, and it definitely steered the game in the right direction and gave Fortnite that fast-paced and constantly changing feel that it's known for now. The gameplay was good, but was not perfect, and in fact was far from it. There were still some pretty major bugs and just weird decisions that were made. Let's start with the pump. The everything gun. Need a sniper? Just use a pump. Need an SMG? Use 2 pump shotguns.
Oh, 2 pumps! In case the first one missed, right? In case you can't hit me for 80, right? In case you can suck a fucking cock!
Fortnite kind of forgot to add damage drop-off to their weapons during Season 1, and they also forgot to add delay when switching between some of their weapons, so things like double pump, which for those who don't know, which is probably nobody, is when you could switch between 2 pumps, it would get rid of the slight delay pumps had before shooting again. These bugs were able to slip through. There was also friendly fire for some reason, which lasted way too long. Players would sometimes kill their own teammates for golden scars, which, yes, is funny. Okay, it's really funny when looking back.
It's blue.
Are you good with scars? Because I'm good with them.
Oh.
Revive me and I'll give it to you! Actually, revive me. You're gonna get your reported.
But if it was in the game now, it would be a very unpopular feature. There was also only one SMG, which was practically useless back with double pump, and it was just a terrible weapon in general. We have definitely had worse SMGs, but something about this SMG just sucked. It was hard to aim with, and it had crazy bloom, so hitting players was extremely difficult. Thankfully, it was replaced with a silenced SMG later. There was also just unnecessary items like the smoke bomb, which was basically useless and quickly forgotten and removed. Besides that, Fortnite's preseason and Season 1 gameplay-wise, it was decent. I do believe if we got a season similar to this season nowadays, people would complain and not like it, and looking back, this season was definitely pretty stale. It was still a huge step, and traditions that were started this season were eventually improved upon later. I would say Season 1 gameplay-wise was definitely a strong 7 out of 10. What's next? Oh yeah, the Battle Pass. But that wasn't added till Season 2. Oh wait, that's right. I forgot. Before the Battle Pass, we had the Seasons Pass. The Seasons Pass was basically the item shop, except it was locked behind levels, so you had to gain a certain level to then buy the skins. Yeah, this did not last long. 2 skins could be bought, the Renegade Raider and the Aerial Assault Trooper. Hot take, but if these skins were released today, no one would buy them. Anyways, that's basically it. Not much to talk about, and I'm super glad they got rid of it and replaced it with something better. 5 out of 10. While there was not much of a community during this part of the game, a few notable streamers started appearing. Streamers like Ninja, Nick30, CypherBK, and many others were introduced to this game, not knowing where it would take them. Since there wasn't much of an online community, I won't be giving this one a rating, so what's next? No matter what the Battle Pass is, how many updates, what's added, its bugs, and its flaws, at the end of the day, it all comes down to if you personally enjoyed it. So was Season 0 and 1 enjoyable? Yes. If this was released today, would it be as highly looked at? Probably not. But when we look back and we remember the moments we had and the memories we made, our first rocket ride, our first win, the shaking and fear we felt in the top 10, we see that Season 1 was still a fun and extremely enjoyable experience. And so, I rate the enjoyability a strong 8 out of 10. Overall, while Season 0 and 1 were not perfect and had its flaws, it was a huge step, a first step some might say. From the rise of the Fortnite community, the beginning of seasonal events, weekly updates, and goofy weapons, and overall that fast-paced and forever changing feeling being created, this season was good. Was it perfect? Was it even really great? No, not really. But it was an enjoyable experience, so, with everything we have discussed so far, I feel very comfortable saying that Season 1 is a decent 7 out of 10. Phew! If you agree, that's great. If you disagree, that's great also. Comment down below why you think I'm wrong. I'm not great with outros, so, bye.